Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Stephanie Shirley and I am going to be doing the 52 Hike Challenge in 2023. So a little bit about me. I am married to my awesome husband, Mark. Some of you may know him, or maybe you don't. We don't have any children, but we do currently have my sister, Katie, who is 38 and special needs. She has been living with us since about our second year of marriage, so that's been a while. And we don't have any human children, babies, but we do have our fur babies. So we have Stella and Jordy, and I'm sure I'll pop in a picture here. And they're two little Morkies. They're both 10 years old this year. They kind of qualify as children. They certainly seem to cost as much as children. So originally, I am an Iowa girl, born and raised there, but we have been living in Texas since 2015. We started off in the Corpus Christi area for several years, and then we eventually moved up to the Hill Country area. We have been moving around a lot over the last couple of years, which kind of landed us in Ohio for a short period of time. So we got to do some exploring up in the Cuyahoga River Valley, which is really beautiful. And then back down here in San Antonio again, we got to explore this area a little more. But we are back in the Hill Country now. So most of my staple hiking that will be done throughout this challenge will be done in San Antonio and mostly the Hill Country area. I do have some plans for some destination hikes throughout the year. I'm really excited to share those with you during my series on this challenge. And I'll be releasing those throughout the year. So I do plan to do one episode for each month to summarize all of my hikes. So sorry, no, I'm not going to do 52. I'll do some little quick captures on my social media accounts, so you'll get to see those every once in a while if you follow me there. But as far as the YouTube videos go, I'm going to shoot for this intro as well as 12 summary videos. So I did want to kind of share a little bit about what the 52 Hike Challenge is. It is an international virtual challenge, just simply to get outside and hike every week. So it's got a pretty simple premise to it. You can join the challenge anytime during the year, and you still have 52 weeks to complete your hikes no matter when you join. So that's kind of nice. If you decide to join later in the year, you still have 52 weeks. So it doesn't start on January 1st and end on December 31st. Obviously, the challenge is self-managed and you're accountable to yourself for what you accomplish, but you're choosing to do it. So you're clearly invested in some kind of goal. So hopefully you'll be able to stick with it and get it done. Hopefully I'll be able to stick with it and get it done. So just a few things that I'm kind of keeping in mind, and if you decide to do it, maybe you'll want to use these things too to help keep you on track. But the first thing that I'm going to try to do is be public about my commitment, which I have already done, of course. I've announced it on my social media accounts. I've been telling people what I intend to do with this challenge, through this challenge, and throughout the year. You could join a group. There are certainly social media groups. I have joined a particular group on Facebook. It's kind of part of a group that got me into this challenge, which I'll talk about a little more as well. And then you might find like local hike groups in your area. I know that REI hosts a lot of groups and has a lot of ways for you to get socially involved with outdoor activities and particularly hiking. And of course, continue to use those social media accounts to get those accountability posts up there. Maybe someone will come along and annoy you and ask you why you haven't posted about it in a while. So, those are just kind of some of the tools that I plan to use to kind of keep me committed to the challenge throughout the year. The technical rules to the challenge are also pretty simple. According to the challenge rules, anything counts as a hike as long as it is A, outside, and B, it's over a mile. So anything outside over a mile, walking surface doesn't matter. It can be in an urban area. It can be snowshoeing if you do snowshoeing. It can even be cross-country skiing. They've started adding that to the list of things that count, as long as you're not going downhill. It's got to be level. I bet uphill counts, maybe. I don't know. So you go uphill in cross-country skiing, right? I don't know. I don't do it. So not a lot of snow here. So they do make it pretty easy to get your hikes in. I will say that me personally, kind of a baseline I wanted to set for myself was that I wanted my hikes to be qualified by saying I put my hiking shoes on. So I don't normally wear hiking shoes for an urban type of setting. If I'm going to be on concrete the whole time, I would usually wear normal running shoes, athletic shoes, but not my hiking shoes. Now I will say life circumstances sometimes make it a little difficult to get out into a natural area where I would be wearing hiking shoes. So don't let that hold you up. I haven't let that hold me up yet this year. And I will qualify this by saying I've already given myself grace on that in month 1. So you will see in my episode videos when I do my summaries, you might see that I have snuck in something that I personally wouldn't qualify as a hike, but we're going to count it because 52 Hike challenged us. So, if you do want to learn more about the 52 Hike challenge, I'm going to include a link here so you can go check out more about them and what it's about and see how you could sign up if you would like to as well. So why am I doing this? I've always been a fan of hiking. Back in Iowa, I was really into cycling a lot. There is really an abundance of great trail systems in the Midwest. I loved having that available for riding or walking wherever I lived. But when we moved to Texas, we sold pretty much everything we owned, including our bikes. Super sad. But I also noticed, that finding trail systems for cycling in Texas was pretty challenging. There may be a lot of them and I just don't know about them, but in the areas that we've been in so far, they were pretty hard for me to find. So I didn't really have an interest in putting money into a bicycle again and all of that. So I really started taking more of an interest in hiking trails because there are tons of opportunities for that in Texas. So I started, for some reason, I started watching more YouTubers doing like through hiking adventures. and just really started dreaming of the day that might trek like the PCT or the Appalachian Trail, or maybe even like the Centennial Trail in South Dakota. I mean, it's 125 miles. Like anybody could do this, right? And last year I turned 50. So I was really just still dreaming about being a hiker. I wasn't really doing it much. I would maybe convince my husband to like go out to a state park here and there. But if I got out for a hike like once every couple of months, that was pretty good. Somewhere along the line, right, I see this ad on social media for the 52 Hike Challenge. And it was probably because I subscribe to everyone else hiking, right? I follow everybody else's hiking adventures. And I clicked on it and I checked it out. And then you know how social media works. I magically got an invite to apply for a sponsored group to participate in the 52 Hike Challenge called Over 50 Outside. So I honestly don't know why I decided to apply for it, except that I probably watched Homemade Wanderlust or Miranda in the Wild or something that day. And I decided I'm a real hiker, right? So I go ahead and fill this thing out. I wrote a quick story about, wanting to be more active in my 50s and always dreaming of completing a through hike. I press send, I sit back on the couch, probably grab a Twinkie or something, and I press play on the next YouTube video in my queue, right? I just keep watching hikers on YouTube. Well, like a month or so later, I kind of had forgotten I maybe even applied for this thing. And I get an email saying, you've been selected to be sponsored for the 52 Hike Challenge. And you're going to be part of this special group of 150 women over 50. Well, so that's what I'm doing. I'm joining the challenge. But I'm also doing it because I really love being out in nature, hearing, like crunchy rocks and dirt under my shoes. I love that sound. I feel like I love everything I do to feel like an adventure of somewhat, even though it's probably perfectly safe all the time. But I want a little bit of excitement in, how I get activity. I don't just want to feel like I'm doing the same old workout or, hanging out in a gym all the time to get fit. I just wanted to do something that was good for me, that I knew I would enjoy and have fun doing it. And, something that would draw me back to it every single week or maybe even more. And I thought hiking was the perfect solution to that. So I do hope that you'll follow along as I complete this challenge in 2023. If you want to be notified of new videos throughout the series, you can subscribe to my channel and click the bell to receive notifications. There will be 12 regular episodes in addition to this intro, and I anticipate producing those videos will probably be more challenging than actually doing the hikes themselves. But I'll get them done, so just keep watching and feel free to share your kind feedback, please, on my episodes. I appreciate everyone who is supporting me through this adventure, and if I can answer any questions or encourage you in your journey, let me know. The world can always use a few more hikers in it. I think hikers are pretty cool people. So why not have a few more? So thanks for joining me, and I will see you on the next adventure.